How is it going, guys? It's Nutshell here, and today we're going to be showcasing off one of the additional loot runs that you can add to the Rusted Key loot run as well. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then hopefully you'll subscribe and you'll see plenty more videos like this one alongside a challenge series that will be starting up on the channel too. So if that sounds good, then make sure that you like this one, and hopefully we can make you a ton of rubles with this additional thing that I've added into the loot run, which is primarily based on the Chek 13 marked key, which is very, very close to where you need to go to use the Rusted Key. So if you do a lot of Rusted Key runs on your scav and you're picking them up and you're not really sure is it worth doing on your PMC, well, that's what today's video is going to kind of discuss as well. So let's start off by going over to the kind of construction, and we can do that by just hopping over a couple of these. Constructing is potentially quite dangerous because there are a ton of scavs that spawn in the actual place itself. So when you come into this location, you want to make sure that you check everywhere, because yeah, the amount of times I've ran through here and there's like 5 scavs in all of the possible directions. We can hear one in here. So just making sure that you do check your corners is going to be what you're going to want to do. And you can see there, just pop that guy. We're getting some horrendous frames, which is just typical. So that guy's gone. So we've taken out 2, which is often one of the bits that you'll find. So now we want to have a good check around, because there's no real cover when you come over here. And usually I'll run over this way, just in case there is anyone. Have a quick look, and then you can run kind of over here and get behind this truck, just in case. And then from here you've got a lot more cover to kind of poke out between and get behind. That's kind of what I will do on the PMC when I'm running on streets. Then you want to check down here just to make sure there's no scavs, because they can pop out of nowhere, I swear, some of these scavs. And then we're going to run into the actual construction site in a second. There are usually scavs in here, so they will be aggressive to you. And you want to come into the actual building on the ground floor. There's a scav around this corner somewhere. There he is. I'm just going to pop him in the head. And we can push down and around, hopefully. Then I come in this little hut. It's just an extra bit of money, and you can check in this duffel. There's also a potential spawn for a duffel opposite, which is always nice as well. So I will check over there, as well as there's a jacket too, which is nice to grab if you haven't already got one. Now, when it comes to this run, the first thing that I will do is make sure that I do not go anywhere near Lexos, because you can get beamed very, very easily. The other thing is, when I come here, I'm always going to go to the Rusted Key first, because if you die when you've got the Rusted Key, you don't keep hold of it, which is definitely not good. And I cannot see this scav. And we are getting the worst frames in human existence. Well, that's one down with some terrible aim, but trust me, it is very annoying when you're running with like 30 FPS to actually hit anything. Not making excuses, it is just true. Can't quite see where this other scav is. We'll lob a nade because he's annoying. And then from here, once we've taken out that scav, this has been like a nightmare so far, with all of the scavs just suddenly aggroing and being in the spots that we don't want them. And then over here, there can be PMCs that spawn. So you want to just double check over there. But most of the time, they won't be there, but they can. And also scavs will push down through those railings that you want to be careful of. But nothing in here so far. Now we guarantee our money from the Rusted Key. At least hopefully. Last time I forgot to actually put my keys up my backside. And ended up losing them all. That was definitely the plan. Now you can hear a scav outside or someone pushing down, so when we come out we need to be very careful with that. We'll unlock the door. Usually I'll crouch just in case, but you don't really need to. Then through here, open up the door, and we're in the rusted key room, and this is where you usually secure a ton of money, at least somewhat anyway. Now we can pick up the bullets if we wanted to, and then we check here, and up on top of the blue shelf, that's where stuff will spawn. And then stuff also spawns on the windows, so you want to check the windows. And then stuff is all over the floor. You can see all of the keys on the floor. There we've got a bobblehead, and if we look down here, we can start getting all of the keys. Doesn't look like there's any marked room keys in this one, but there was in the previous one. I just forgot to stick it on my backside, so yep, that was a good idea for sure. But we can pop all of these in our secure container inside our sit case. There's another key over there. Keys can usually be quite difficult to actually see in here, so having a flashlight is nice to be able to kind of light up the area, and you can get a glint off of one of the keys. But another way is kind of crab walking sideways. You can see them quite easily when you're crab walking because they kind of have a weird render model. But yeah, just checking all around is what you want to do, checking on all of the windowsills and then checking the floor. Unfortunately for us, nothing really to kind of say about, nothing super expensive. There will be a couple of keys worth probably a couple 100k here, but most of them going to be about 50k to 40k, so nothing too spectacular. But that is where we can now add in the marked room run, because that is where you can make even more money and secure even more money every single time. So that's what we're going to do now. We are going to make our way downstairs. I'll pack mags. I won't let you watch me pack all of these mags, but you can I'll join you back in a second. So we've packed all of the mags, and now we can head downstairs. There sounded like there was about 1 million scavs downstairs, so yeah, this is going to be fun. I would assume that they're outside the door. Either sometimes they can be directly in front of us, as well as over here. And of course there's PMCs as well. And of course, wouldn't be like Tarkov 2 at the most opportune moment. Right, well, we've dealt with literally an army of scavs, which is the worst thing in the world, because they just don't stop coming. But now we can actually make our way into the marked room location, which is down here, through the kitchen. The other door is sometimes open, but you have to breach it from the inside to actually get in. Then we go in through here, up these stairs, through here, open this door, and then we are at the Chek 13 marked room key. We open this one up, and we can go inside. So instantly got a yellow key card, which is nice. We can shove that straight in our backside. Got a hard disk, having a quick look around, and we've got ourselves another yellow key card. Of course, it's two of the same one. We'll drop out the rubles just so we keep all of the keys. I can show you then, just in case we do get taken out. And then we've got a green key card as well, so there you go. Probably the best result that you could hope for from the room. So not a bad one. We are going to be doing a video on loot from 10 of these, so you guys can get an idea as to whether or not it is actually worth getting your hands on the key card and opening it up. But you can find yourself ammunition in here, and you can also get yourself some rigs, that sort of stuff. Usually there's bits and bobs that are lying underneath some of this item, so you might want to pick it up and dump it away. Obviously you can only take so much, and of course when you've got a ton of weapons, you probably want to pick up some of the high value weapons, and also there'll be stuff lying around in the pile of like rubbish that is over here. So yeah, it can be useful to just pick up some of the stuff, and then you can get a clearer look as to what's actually lying around and where you can find stuff. Now, I don't know if there's a location in here, but I do see people looking around here to see if there is any cards. So nothing there that I've found so far, and we've looked in there and behind here, and apparently we just got a highlight message somewhere. I don't know if that's true. Maybe I was seeing things, but I'm pretty sure we did. Maybe not. Either way, I think we will probably check the rig. It's got level 5 plates, not terrible. What's ours got? It's got level 5. We'll just dump out this rig. Obviously, if you wanted a better rig, you could get it. But that's completely down to you. We need to make some space for the scar so we can pick it up, which apparently we can't. We can pick up the VSS there though, which we are not going to keep. We'll put the DVL in the back and then pick up the scar, and then we can have another look around just to make sure we haven't lost anything. So key cards wise, I've found them over here. Found them over here like we found, and then there's one over there as well. So that's kind of where I found the spawns of them, all around the center of the room. Now they might be able to spawn elsewhere, but so far I've only ever found them like here, and then over there near the door entrance, and one over there. But remember to check like over here somewhere, and of course you want to be checking all around the edges of the room just in case. Some of you might know, maybe you found other things, but yeah, so far that is where I've had. Keychains you can find in here as well, so just be aware of that. And you can also find things like injector cases. I've had a couple of those from this room, and we've only opened it, what, if we have a look, we have opened it 4 times so far, and we've definitely got our money's worth already, considering the key was about 13 million, and we've picked up quite a lot of the actual items that we need, which is key cards, and they are worth a ton. So let's get out of this raid, hopefully, without being taken out. But at the end of the day, this is a raid where even if you do get taken out, it doesn't matter, because you have basically got the space in your back pocket anyway to use. So I will meet you at the extract if we make it there, or I will showcase my death. Either way, it's probably going to be funny. Right, so we ran into an ammunition problem because of so many of the scavs. So we're having to... So we're having to use the OP SKS. Oh my lo... What is this raid, man? This is literally the most disgusting raid I've ever been in. We're probably going to get taken out, I won't lie. So maybe my prediction earlier was not necessarily too wrong. We just need to get out of this location right here, and then we should be fine. But there's so many scavs around, it's disgusting. Right, screw this, like... Oh my lord! course they're nading me as well. Like, what is this raid? Oh, dear. Well, unfortunately for us, we are not going to be able to make it out of this raid. So, that absolutely sucks. Mainly because we ran out of ammunition on every single one of our guns. So, we are going to do the smart thing and drop absolutely everything to make sure that we do get everything back. Because we don't want to go missing in action is what I'm saying. So, there we go. So, by far, that was the most cracked raid that I've ever been in, at least on streets. I don't know what on earth was going on during that entire time, but as you can see, the scav horde decided that they were going to jump around, and we had to kill 27 different scavs, or 26 minus a bear. Yeah, that was the most disgusting raid, but obviously we still managed to get out with all of the loot that we did have in our backside, and of course that is the whole point of this entire thing, is when you're playing as a PMC you can stick stuff up your backside and it guarantees you rubles. The stuff we took into the raid wasn't particularly very expensive anyway, so losing it not going to be a problem. Even if insurance wasn't to give it back to us, we would still make a solid decent amount of money. But of course insurance does bring it back to you, and as long as you don't go missing in action with the stuff on you, then you do get it back as insurance. So make sure that you do drop all your stuff in the raid beforehand, or before the raid actually ends, if you want it to come back in insurance, as if you do go missing in action you will not get your stuff back, that's gone. So make sure that you do drop it before you go missing in action. But with that being said, what did we actually receive from the raid? Well, in the back of our backside, we managed to pick up a green and 2 yellows alongside a ton of keys as well, which was nice. And I'm sure each one of these keys is going to be worth a decent chunk. But either way, the green key card 10.7 mil plus 2 yellows is 14 mil or 14.5 mil. So we're sitting around 15.2 mil. Plus we also got the Concordia office room key, the cinema key, the security for Concordia room. We also got the operating room key, Iron Gate, which is worth about 80k. So a lot of decent keys, probably worth in the region of about 500k conservatively, probably worth more, but 500k. So about 16.1 mil in that one raid, which would have covered the cost of the entire Chek 13 key. Plus, if we did manage to get ourselves a marked room key, we could easily add anywhere from 6 mil to 28 mil for the raid. So that is kind of what I do for the additional run that we do on our PMC when we are running in streets. With that being said, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like it and let me know what you want to see me do next, as well as check out my Twitch link in the description down below if you want to see me live doing all of this sort of stuff, and we'll be doing it on the weekends. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video hopefully. Have a great rest of the day. Goodbye.